Shalom, this is Rabbi Joel N from Temple Sholom here in the Scotch Plains. And this week I will be speaking on Parashat Vayigash from the book of Genesis. This is actually one of the great Torah portions to come into, because last week's Torah portion, Miketz, leaves us in this incredible cliffhanger, really the best cliffhanger in the Torah. If you remember the story, Jacob's sent his sons to go to Egypt for a second time to get grain because there's a famine. Joseph is in charge. They don't know it's Joseph. Joseph has said they can't come back unless they bring Benjamin, his full brother. And Jacob says, you can't bring Benjamin because he'll be lost as Joseph was, and it'll break my heart. And Judah stands pledge that he will bring Benjamin back. And at the end of last week's portion, Joseph has planted a cup inside Benjamin's sack. They have arrested Benjamin. Joseph is going to keep him, and Judah is now, is he going to step up? Is he going to be the brother that he has promised to be and take care of his brother Benjamin's life? Or are they going to leave Benjamin and go back? And we're left with that cliffhanger. And when we come to this week's portion, we're right there. Judah stands up and Judah says, all right, not knowing who Joseph is, not knowing who this incredibly powerful person is, and begs for Benjamin's life. And we see this incredible pathos that's happening here. And of course, it speaks to us today. How many of us are separated from our families and wish that we could see them, and have been put in positions where we are pleading with people to be able to see our family, whether they are in long-term care facilities, whether they are in hospitals, whether they are in different states, all of those things. We find ourselves in this moment of really rethinking our own familial ties. And of course, after Judah gives this passionate speech, Joseph can't handle himself anymore. He sends everyone else out of the room except his brothers, and he breaks down and confesses that he's their brother. Even though they have sent him into slavery, even though he's had a horrible experience beginning in his time in Egypt until where he is that day, he still cannot separate himself from his family anymore, and breaks down and brings them back together. That's really one of the messages that I think is important to take out of this portion in this time when we are in enforced separation from each other, when we are in a situation like a famine, where there are those who are in need of food. How do we help each other? How do we talk to people who are in dire straits, whether it's in their health or food or sustenance? How do we bring our family together? How do we help other people at all times? And of course, the challenge of this is in the end of the Parsha. In the end of the Parsha, we actually find out that during this famine, Joseph, acting for Pharaoh, has taken money from the Egyptians to sell them back the grain that was grown in the 7 good years. And in doing that, he starts to take their possessions and their land and really transforms Egypt from being this place of freeholders to being a place of peonage and serfdom and kind of semi-slavery to Pharaoh. We have to watch out in this very difficult time. What is it that we are giving up? What is it that we want to make sure we maintain? What is it that we want to make sure goes back to the way it is? What are the lessons that we can learn about being close and being near to each other? But what is it we want to make sure that we don't give up in our own sense, in our own values, as we go forward and reunite as Joseph did with his brothers? Shabbat Shalom to you, and may you have a healthy and happy secular year.